Yes, I visited there after I got really saved. I got to visit them because I used to fellowship quite a bit with some folks over there.
That's right. Because they're PAW.
Right. And so I got to visit them quite a bit. And
so did you come up from West Virginia for this? Oh, that's not nice.
I drove up.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that people can still do that.
Yeah. It is. Well, see, I'm a member.
I think was really happy when I heard he was going to be Secretary of Transportation. I'm even happier we could get him to come down here and see our operation. Make him familiar with it. A couple of his folks, our members of the team, one in particular, is a member of the board today. Talked about him a little while ago. And without further ado, I'm going to ask Jim Smith to come up and make a few remarks.
Thank you, John. And good evening, everybody. I do thank you for inviting Sandy and I to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the last ride, Streetcars, in Baltimore. It's really an honor to be here. It's really through this museum and the tireless work of so many people here that you've done an amazing job of preserving Baltimore's unique transit heritage. As a lifelong Baltimore area resident and the grandson of a streetcar conductor and now as transportation secretary, I really do appreciate the work that you have done in honoring and remembering the past. I have some very fond memories of my father telling me about his trips with his dad from Emory Road to Baltimore and back. Now, I lived out in the Reisterstown, Owens Mills area all my life for the last 4 years when I moved to Cottonville. And the streetcar didn't come out that far. And I was a real country boy because it was country out there in those days. So I never had the chance to ride the streetcars, but I did remember my father telling me about my grandfather. As a matter of fact, I've got a picture of my grandfather in his handsome streetcar conductor. He's proudly displayed at our home because I actually never really knew my grandfather because he wasn't lived long enough for me to be with. So that's the only picture I have of him, by the way. And so the streetcar has been a big part of my recollection of my grandfather. Obviously, there's also a lot of transit history in this room and in this facility. And Maryland Department of Transportation is proud to have a long history of partnering with you and the city and other stakeholders on the multimodal transportation projects right in this area, all in an effort to really promote transportation alternatives and enhance access to and awareness of this museum. During the Railvolution conference a few years ago, we were proud, the department was proud to partner with you to bring participants from across the country to enjoy lunch and tours of the museum. And during the tour, we made it a point to take participants to Clipper Mill Development, 83 at Woodbury Lake Rail Station, which we would like to hold up as a great example of adaptive reuse and transit-oriented development in this area. Under Governor O'Malley's leadership, we continue to promote land use and development decisions that will better support and integrate transit opportunities. As a matter of fact, since the passage of legislation in 2008 allowing the state to use its resources to partner with local governments and the private sector in support of TOD or transit-oriented development, Maryland has designated 16 projects for such partnerships across the state, with construction and/or building occupancy occurring at 4 stations. MDOT has recently committed $94 million in new funding for infrastructure investments being designated TODs. also proudly partnered with the city to promote numerous transportation alternative initiatives relevant to this location, most notably recent work on the Jones Falls Trail. We've enjoyed a great relationship with the City Department of Transportation and have been pleased to provide more than $4 million over the years to help advance this Jones Falls Trail project. In 2010, we were delighted to celebrate the completion of the 3-mile trail segment of this charter as it finalized the connection from Woodbury Light Rail to Penn Station. I know my predecessor and dear friend Beverly Swain Staley spoke very highly of this trail segment as a prime example of how to achieve Governor O'Malley's vision for a smart, green, and growing Maryland. This trail segment is hailed as a major step forward in providing intermodal connections for bicycles and pedestrians to light rail, metro, and regional rail service, as well as connections to this museum and major parks and residential areas. Speaking of alternative modes of transportation, for MDOT's 6-year program, we're investing nearly $200 million in projects to enhance bicycle and pedestrian travel across the state, including nearly $1 million to help Baltimore establish their own bike share program. In September, I joined about 150 enthusiastic citizens and helped celebrate the bike share opening in Rockville in Montgomery County. So I'm really looking forward to celebrating the opening of Baltimore's bike share project next year. I was just amazed at how many people showed up to celebrate that. You know, biking now is not just for recreation and exercise. It is to get people where they want to go, to get them to work. It's one of the modals that you now consider for transportation. As we proudly commemorate our transit past this evening, I'm honored to have been chosen by the Governor to serve as Transportation Secretary, thus helping to shape our transportation future in Baltimore and across the state. And let me tell you, our transportation future looks very, very good and much brighter thanks to the leadership of the Governor, the Lieutenant Governor, President Miller, and Speaker Bush, and the members of the General Assembly, which supported the passing of the Transportation Infrastructure Investment Act of 2013. Now, that's also been called the gas tax increase, but it really was something that was tremendously needed in order to move Maryland forward as far as the transportation infrastructure is concerned. This Transportation Act will allow us to address the pent-up demand of transportation projects with an infusion of $4 billion over the next 6 years. New funding is going to make a tremendous difference in Maryland's quality of life. Thanks to this Transportation Act, we've developed the largest transportation budget in Maryland history, $15.4 billion over the next 6 years. This infusion of $4.4 billion really translates into 57,200 jobs and really will spark billions of dollars in other investment opportunities from the private sector. This historic Transportation Act will really shape the future of transportation in Maryland and will be key to the Maryland Department of Transportation delivering important projects to the citizens of our state. And I believe Marylanders have a more positive attitude about the increase in the sales tax on gasoline when they actually see what they're getting for their money. And the Baltimore area will see millions in new investments thanks to the passage of this act. The Governor, the Lieutenant Governor, and members of our congressional delegation and Mayor Rawlings Blake were all in Baltimore in early September to announce nearly $1.5 billion in new transportation investment in the Baltimore metropolitan area, including numerous transit projects. $689 million in investments for the Red Line project, including $519 million in construction funding. $46 million to operate the first ever MARC train weekend service to D.C. on the Penn 10 line, which starts on December the 7th. An additional $52 million in market improvements to purchase 10 new diesel locomotives and add 2 daily round trips to weekday service on the Camden line. $246 million to replace the Baltimore Metro subway's 100 rail car fleet. $12 million in operating assistance for the Charm City Circulator, and $75 million in construction funds for Phase 2 of the Kirk Bus Division Modernization Project. Speaking of bus modernization, I'd like to point out that under the leadership of MTA Administrator Robert Smith, the MTA is embarking on an aggressive transit modernization project. This is an all-inclusive strategic effort to improve public transit, including technology upgrades, new bus shelters, an overhaul of trains and buses, greater connectivity, station enhancements, and more. The first initiative of this plan in the Baltimore region is the Bus Network Improvement Project, which will focus specifically on planning and operations of the MTA's bus network, as well as on how the bus network intersects with and supports their light rail, metro, subway, and more. To be complete this spring, this initiative seeks to ensure that the Baltimore region will have an integrated transit system that provides access for families of all socioeconomic backgrounds to important resources like hospitals, educational institutions, and job centers, and that aligns service with new housing and job sectors. If you haven't already, there's still time, and I encourage you to give us your ideas and input by visiting our website at mta.maryland.gov and clicking on the Bus Network Improvement Project banner. This is a draft, so there's an opportunity to comment on this draft and to make suggestions as to how it might be modified to be more effective. After all, an improved bus network is essential to the success of other transit modes in Baltimore, including the planned red line light rail. And that's a transit project that I support 100%. A recent announcement by the governor and lieutenant governor in funding for the red line is a testament to the state's commitment to advancing the red line and the strong support this vital east-west light rail line has throughout the Baltimore metropolitan area. You know, this line is more than just a 14-mile line from Woodlawn to Hopkins campus. This is a line, yes, it will affect projects all